Hi, it's Martin, Martin's Engine Services. Well, Ford C-Max is sitting in front of me in the workshop. Made it here okay. There's quite a, as I mentioned in the earlier video, was happening Wednesday. This had a suspected air conditioning pump failure while it was on the continent, and oh boy, it certainly has had one. It would appear that the bearing has basically melted in the AC pump and has fried the clutch. Laying in the bottom of the under tray, there's a belt that's snapped, and I don't know whether it's going to show up, but it would appear that it was actually on fire at some point. It's turned to charcoal. Now, fortunately, it hadn't actually wrapped itself around the wiring harness that runs across the front of the pump that goes up to the alternator, and it has actually made a very slight mark, a little nick in the other belt which drives the water pump and the alternator. So that was quite lucky. Fortunately, that's a 6 rib wide belt, and it's only sort of 1 rib affected. I'm in the process at the moment of attempting to get the bonnet open. Now, I've managed to undo the clips along the top of the grille and actually unclip the bottom of the grille. We've got to that stage, and the key barrel was actually pushed in out of the grille, but of course the grille is hooked up onto the slam panel, and I don't want to destroy the grille. So there's no way in from underneath because the catch sits on top of the locking rail. So I'm actually in the process of attempting to undo the front bumper to see if I can come up sort of through about here, possibly cut through the cable. What appears to have happened is the key barrel is broken because the key just literally goes round and round and round in the barrel. So what I'm thinking of doing, maybe I can cut through the cable and then operate the lock that way. So I'm having a little bit of fun getting the bumper off. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if it's fortunately unfortunately, but unfortunately for me, this vehicle's never had the bumper off, and the bolts, although they go into plastic, are very, very rusty. I suppose in some respects that's not too bad, because obviously it hasn't had any accident damage in the past, so it's going to be all the correct parts in the correct places. This is one of the beautiful bolts that goes up into the plastic that holds the bumper on. You see the head is just, well, luckily I managed to get a socket on. So I'm going to proceed and see if I can get at least the end of the bumper loose. There doesn't appear to be any fixings at the top here, not that I can see. Haven't took a C-Max bumper off for a long time, so we shall find out. So without further ado, I shall pause proceedings for a moment. Martin's at his wrong words again. At the moment, undo a couple of bolts along this edge here and see if the bumper will pivot out, and that might get us somewhere. Well, we seem to have some sort of level of success. There's just a couple of bolts up here which are a little bit fiddly this side, but with the aid of all the quarter drive assembled like that, we managed to get to it. I gave it a little tentative tug and it seems to have detached from the brackets here, so we have some good progress. Mustn't forget to disconnect the fog light wire before getting too carried away. Well, this seems to be another interesting mission. I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to change the bulb on one of these. Good grief. Okay. Answers on a postcard. I'll investigate that. Well, I think we've won the fight on that one. With a bit of luck, and now the grill's managed to clip it back in place back into place again. Right, that's that. I think we should. Aha. Yes. Right. Just got a couple of clips holding underneath somewhere in the middle of this central piece, and we should be in luck. There we go. One. Might just wiggle off with a bit of luck. Hey! Victory! Well, probably not victory, but it's another part of put it in the collection. Right, now what have we got left? We can possibly get this section here to come out. If this piece would come off, that would solve the problem. Well, what a mission, folks. I mean, the wheel arch line I had to take out anyhow to get to the AC pump. But you see these bolts here that go up into clips on here. On the other side, one of the clips has gone round and round with the bolt, so the whole lot's, excuse me, basically just dropped out. So we'll have to reattach that later. Still, it's any progress is good progress. I think a bit of light on the subject rather than start ripping and tearing. Technical problem, folks. It's like not in the lead light wire. Yes, I know it's my very, very ancient, very old-fashioned lead light on a piece of wire. Probably a lot of you have never seen one of these for a long time, but I never had any luck with anything else, and this is Old Faithful. Right, there's a couple of retaining clips on that, and we should be able to get that off. Just like one of these, you have to undo all the clips at the same time when it will go back into place. Oh, I see. It's actually got a couple of like push clips or push nails coming down further back. I'll turn off for a moment. I might just be able to get those with the probe and just push them back up out of the way. So, well, we're getting closer. It's either that or it's going to be a hideous explosion of plastic in a minute and it's all going to come apart. Victory! There it is. You could get the grill out. You can get to the back of these 4 across the grill. But the ones you can't get to, there's 2 more on the grill here, each end. And I don't like breaking things, so got this out. Oh, we've had 1 minor fatality. I will confess to that. We've had a bit of a crack there, but nothing serious. Oh, there goes the camera. Right, so we can actually put it all back together. Fantastic. Truly remarkable how much force it takes to break one of these off. When they're made of soft plastic, but boy, do these things get a grip. Well, put that on the increasing pile of parts, clips, bolts and all the other goodies we've got. Right, just sort of cut the clips out. Right, bear with folks, bear with. Right, problem solved a bit further, should we say. Now, let's see what kind of help this gives us. Right, well now we've got good access to the lock itself. Or better access, shall we say. Possibly, yes, I can remove this other nose piece of plastic here as well. Might help us. Oh, excuse me. Some nasty ripping sounds coming out of it. Ooh. Hey, that sounded worse than it was. It's got these hooks on the back. So right, look at that. Another piece of the collection. What are we left with now? Aha. Right. Now I think it's conceivable, as I've already seen a video on YouTube on this, that you can actually get to unbolt the latch from the locking rail. So I'll cut for a moment and give that a try, and we might possibly be in. I win. Yes, you can do it. This pipe here is a little bit, is it in shot? Stand by for a bit of a wobble. This air intake pipe here is a little bit of a pain, but you can get your hand through this gap and retrieve the 2 bolts. Then give it a tug and away she goes. I did slightly wrench on the bonnet open wire a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. If that's the only casualty and 1 crack in a bit of plastic, then I think we count that one as a serious success. Now, there is our guilty party. One very broken key mechanism. What a stupid, stupid idea. I see potentially you might be able to reach in and undo these two bolts there, but I don't know whether that... No, it must be spot welded as well. Can't be that easy. Now we've got to get that piece of latch off of there. Maybe this special tool here will do it. So, stuck to the bonnet up there is the